A officer in Austin was recorded saying that blacks have violent tendencies, is the short of this. Breaion King was being arrested by an officer in Austin, Texas, and it was caught on video. The officer slammed her to the floor, and then on the way to the police station, as she was in custody, started trying to explain why black people get such a bad rap in terms only, in my opinion, a racist can understand. Let's take a look.
Put your hands behind your back. Oh my God. Put your hands behind.
Why are so many people afraid of black people?
That's what I want to figure out.
I can give you a really good idea of why it might be that way. Violent tendencies. And I want you to think about that. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying that I can prove it or nothing. But 99% of the time, when you hear about stuff like that, it is the black community that's being violent. That's why a lot of the white people are afraid, and I don't blame them.
Before we get into the discussion of this, let's talk about what happened to that officer. He's put on desk duty or administrative leave or whatever they typically do. But Art Acevedo, who is the Austin police chief, made a statement saying, for those that think life is perfect for people of color, I want you to listen to that conversation and tell me we don't have social issues in this nation. Issues of bias, issues of racism, issues of people being looked at different because of their color. The person who you saw getting arrested said, I've become fearful to live my life. I would rather stay home. I've become afraid of the people who are supposed to protect me and take care of me. So, what do you guys think?
I don't know if you guys have seen, there's like a full video where she kind of narrates the experience along with, right. So watching that, it just makes you feel so deeply uncomfortable because this escalated so quickly, and the job of the police is to de-escalate the situation. This guy pulls her from her car, she's very confused, and then to go from that to then you see her in this cop car genuinely questioning this police officer. What is wrong with me? Like, why does this keep happening? Why are people afraid of black people? And then she just takes that incredibly racist answer and just takes it. And that, I think, is such a sad commentary on the expectation and the sort of hopelessness that a lot of people of color in this country are experiencing.
He doesn't even the worst part is he doesn't even justify it. He's like, I don't have facts. I don't know how to justify it. It's just true.
Well, he's saying, I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah.
But he's saying it
but
come on.
He's like, listen to a white police officer on why this entire, community is having problems with the police. Like, let me explain this to you because you probably don't understand why you're being handcuffed. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, that was a Wendy's parking lot.
Yeah, she thought she was being pulled over for speeding.
She's parked. It was very confusing what was happening.
The story is that she was going 15 miles over the speed limit, which obviously immediately justifies being face planted into the ground and arrested in that violent way.
What's weird to me is to go and say, you people have violent tendencies. This coming from a person who just reached into a car and lifted someone who looks like she's 90 pounds and slammed her down. Yeah. And here's another thing that I think bears being either demonstrated in a video by people who are trying things out. That's like a trend online where people try to experience things. I know Kaj Larson for Current TV, which I used to work for, went through being waterboarded to demonstrate for people what that's like, so you could see it with your own eyes. But having someone try to stop resisting arrest when you're being grabbed by someone and thrown around and being told to put your hands behind your back, like every instinct that you have in your body when someone grabs you and tries to lift you is to resist it. You tense up. That's your reaction. That is a reflex. And to keep yelling at her and hold her down and lift her arms up in the back to try to neutralize any ability of hers to move, that is dangerous and potentially very injurious physically to that person. But we've got to find another way, like a moment where the police officer can then say, all right, I just tackled you because I felt like I was in danger. Now I'm going to let you go so you can stand up and put your hands on the van. 90-pound person.
Yeah. I mean, it again comes back to how do you de-escalate a situation, which is what the police are supposed to do. And everything that he did in this case only made her more afraid, only made her more hysterical, and also physically harmed her.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that you make a really good point, Brett. At some point in time, he has to look at her like a human being. She's terrified, and give her a beat if it was necessary to put her in handcuffs, which I do not believe that it was. But if it was necessary in a different situation to be like, all right, this got out of hand. Can you please put your hands behind your back? Can you please put your hands on the car? And, you know, kind of take it from there. Because just the treatment of this woman, and then to hear her interview after the fact, is incredibly sad. And we have to expect better.
Yeah.
Look,
we have to.
It's also about understanding the community that you're supposed to protect, right? If a white police officer is protecting a community of like black people, if there's a large amount of black people in that community, I think that they should, it's sane and reasonable to want to have that person understand that community better, do a little bit of community policing, possibly go out to the churches or wherever people gather, talk to them, explain to them how they're keeping the neighborhood safe, get to meet these people so that when you do have this insanely inappropriate way of thinking in regards to the people that you're supposed to protect, then maybe you'll be a little less confrontational, maybe you'll be a little less violent, and you won't think that all black people are violent when you're handling them.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And she does ask in the video for a black police officer too.
Yeah, and I think that's reasonable, by the way. Like, that's kind of controversial. People say, like, I've heard different comments against that, like, oh, why? Because most cops in black communities are still white. And I feel like there is an argument to be made about possibly having members of that community represented in the police force in
completely agree.
a more proportionate way.
Yeah, I don't know. When I hear, like, I want a black police officer, like, that's more of a symptom that the system's broken. than something that should matter. Like, my first instinct is to live in an ideal world where it doesn't matter what the color of the police officer is, the same way it shouldn't matter what the color of the person is who just got thrown to the floor. We should be de-escalating violence, de-escalating situations as soon as they happen based on a protocol that's colorblind. And that hasn't happened.
And you see that she doesn't expect it to happen, which is why she asks for a black police officer. And that's so sad.
We're it's kind of sad that, like, the one good thing in this instance is that at least he didn't shoot her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We're going to talk about that. Maybe we'll go to that, like, right now. But first I want to say, I watched the interview or the press conference with Art Acevedo, the police chief, and he gets it, in my opinion. He might be doing a great job of covering up some dysfunction, but when I hear him talk, he just says, this is unacceptable, this is ridiculous, there was a breakdown, he should have de-escalated the violence and absolutely escalated it. And again, like Grace said, go watch the local Austin paper put out a video on their website of a full, it's a really great report.
It's a great report, and you see just kind of how the full thing went down and how she's doing today. And I think it's worth getting the full story.